Begin with a nice piece of fresh Atlantic salmon, enough for 8. And we're going to slice that up. Now this slice is a little large unless you're planning to serve this meal as the main entree. Otherwise you may want to cut that in half, making 3 by 3 inch squares. So it's a bit of a smaller portion for the full 10 courses. And there we have all our wonderful salmon sliced up. Next we're going to make a court bouillon, which is a light stock used mainly for poaching fish or shellfish in. And we add 3 quarts of water, 2 carrots, and I've sliced some onions in half, and I've added a clove in each. Next I'm going to add 2 bay leaves, 10 whole peppercorns, a nice bunch of fresh parsley, and 1 teaspoon of salt, and then we're going to add 1½ cups of dry white wine. So we're going to bring this to a boil on high heat and then let it simmer for about 30 to 45 minutes, and then simply strain. And you've got this wonderful poaching liquid that really does add a lot of flavor to the fish. You can keep it in the fridge for at least a week, so you can definitely make this ahead of time. Now we're going to make the mousseline sauce, which is basically a hollandaise sauce with either whipped cream or whipped egg whites added to it. We're going to create a blender version of hollandaise sauce by putting the egg yolks, lemon juice, salt and pepper, and we get that blending while we're going to add the melted butter. Now you want the melted butter to literally come straight from the stove, so it's still piping hot, and that's going to cook the egg yolks. So you slowly add that while the yolks are spinning in the blender. And then what we're going to do is add a 1/4 cup of whipped cream to this mixture. Now it should be lightly whipped cream so you can still get a nice smooth sauce. And then you're going to have to put this sauce, you want to keep it warm, possibly on a double boiler where you've got some hot water underneath, and keep the sauce warm until it's serving time. We're placing our salmon into the bouillon that we created earlier, and you want to make sure that the water just covers the top. Salmon cooks very fast, from anywhere from 3 to 6 minutes depending on how thick your piece is. You don't want to overcook it so that the inside is still very light. The outside will turn opaque and lose its pinkness, whereas the inside will retain it. And then garnish your plate with a little bit of cucumber. Again, this piece is quite large if you're planning to do all 10 courses. It should be half that size if you're doing all 10. Otherwise, this is a nice size as a main entree portion. Sprinkle with a little bit of cracked pepper, and there you have a delicious poached salmon with mousseline sauce.